Hello, YouTube. Welcome to another cool time with Blessed, and today we'll be looking at the version 2 of the Plotted series. We have seen the Plotted EMR, which was hard, difficult, challenge, Plotted TMS, and it's very easy to medium challenge. So we've got the box started, and we've got two questions: the user flag and root flag. And they gave a tip here: enumeration is the key. So great, let's see how fast we can. I've done a couple of the background jobs to save us some time. So you can see I've done the nmap scan. After my nmap scan, I found a couple of ports open. There's port AT, port 22. I ran an vulnerability scan as well. So we can see some CVEs being pointed out there. And we found a strange event, port 445. Usually we expect to see NetBIOS SMB thing happening there, but we can see there's a Apache HTTPD happening there. That's pretty strange to me. And my Vaughan scan is able to review there's a management. So what I did was I pretty much grabbed this and went into, apart from the fact that a couple of SMB was trying to, but obviously because that port is not listening, so you'll be able to see nothing. So I did a go buster, sorry, on the IP first, then validated. I found the management, so I went after the management, found uploads, and but we can see all these are 302. Basically the 302 is a redirect message, and that's a move permanently. I think move permanently, so which means I'm being tempted to go to my browser and try to see if I can reach that IP under management. So I'm going to copy this quickly, basically, then go to my browser, and over here I'm just going to open a new page and paste this in here, see what lies behind the scene. Okay, this is the basic. So for 445 I'll go to management and see if there's something, and it appears that it's loading. So obviously there's a traffic offense management platform. So I found this, basically did a bit of analysis, clicked around, run this through a vulnerability assessment tool, that I found that there's an SQL vulnerability happening on this login form, which we're going to see. So just to show you guys a few stuff, by view page source, look at what is in the background. We can see a couple of these href links describing how this stuff loads up for us. Then around the login form area, if I can quickly go there, so I can showcase. I'm sure we can see some JavaScript. You can use link finder to grab all the possible links from this thing, as we've seen in some other videos which we've shown. So if I go back and I click on the login, I tried a couple of legacy XSL, see if I am able to, but basically I found this worked out pretty fine. So just copy this, put a random password there, which doesn't really matter. I was able to sign in completely ridiculous. Okay, so we can see that we are in as administrator. That's pretty much ridiculous. So from this point, the question will be, what can we do around this? Since we have this login access, it's for us to go and find, it's showing me that it's version 1, so I'll go look search exploits if there's an exploit for this traffic offense management system, and see if I can probably grab one of these exploits. So over here I'm going to run search exploits, which I've already done background. We can see a couple of legacy remote code authentication exploits. I think I'm going to grab the specific one, which is 2221, because that one seemed to work out of the other ones I've tested. So I'm just going to copy this quickly. Then I'll go search exploits -m to pull this thing down to my local box. So I have got it right there. Okay. So we're going to build these exploits, more like weaponize it, to be able to use it to do what we need to do. So I'm going to quickly open up Nano 5 and look for the lines of code where we need to weaponize this thing. I think that will be around where we need to point this to the target. So we can see in the example, as printed. Then over here we need to, if URL starts with this or this, then check, just walking you through what this is doing, check this and add to this. I think our interest will be around request URL, so we can see the request URL equals URL plus. We'll try and see if we can make a modification on the request to point to our target. Then we can now try this out. Okay, so let's get to the business in doing this and see how it works. Okay, so to make the necessary modification, after reviewing the entire code, we can see this block of code where we have the while true. Seems like that's where we find shell.get. So we can pass in the URL to the resources in there. HTTP colon, we paste IP address on port 445. Then I think this is pretty much okay. At this point, we can now close this up and save this. Basically, oh sorry, my bad. We can save this and we can, I think I can use the plus from adding that to the code. Great, I can save this and try to run this. We quickly need to verify what Python, I think which Python, this is Python 2. So we need to run this as Python 2 has been specified over there. Let me write this modification. Weaponization is done. Basically, I can try to run Python 2, then run that file and see if we can probably get an initial access. So it's asking us for URL. Obviously, we'll pass in the URL, which should be HTTP colon. I'm just going to copy it from my browser all the way to management because that's where this thing sits. I'm going to copy this, come back here, and paste that in here. Okay, that looks fine. Let's check in the URL. Let's see if we can actually grab that or bypass login, then upload our shell, which is doing now. If it does, perfect. Great. You see, we already grab a shell. ID over here, we can see we're dub data. So this is the initial start of this whole thing. I will quickly stage a netcat listener to spin a reverse shell or call back to me so I can have a more stable shell that I can operate with to probably elevate privilege or escalate privilege, then probably grab the credentials that we've been asked to grab from this challenge. Okay, so I've had some struggles while trying to get a stable shell because obviously this doesn't look like a shell that we can get out of. It seems like we're locked in there. Can't go back, can't change. What I've done so far is I went to the web application, then I created this malicious user. You will see it's random data, filled up random data. If I edit it just to show you what it looks like within random data, but I uploaded the photo. I'm using this shell.php, which is reverse shell I got from this reverse shell and test monkey. Let me see if that's going to work. Then I'm going to save this. Now to activate this shell, I can simply just click on this. Let me see. Okay, this is the random user I created. See, we got a callback to our listener. This works pretty much better, and I think this shell should be a better stable shell because we should be able to go to home just to see. Okay, sorry. And we are in home, so this we can move around. Okay, so we're going to be working with this shell. This shell, I think it's just for the initial access to proof of concept stuff, but there could be a way, because I'm seeing this seem to be an upload page, so we can as well visit this page, management upload, and try to see if we can upload something there. If we're able to probably use a technique to put in a payload in here, we can as well go to the upload page and activate the payload by clicking on it, but I'm not going to be doing this since I already used a different attack technique. Admin, let's see, we're in Plotted-TMS. We have user.txt. Can we view that file? Oh, permission denied. Okay, as suspected. So which means we need to elevate privilege before we should be able to view any of those files. So let's start thinking about how to elevate privilege to be able to view those files. Okay, so basically what I've done is my regular Python 3. I first searched for which Python, then I found this Python 3, Python 3. Python 2 is also there. So quickly I kind of like grab the stable bin bash Python shell. Then from this point we'll see. Okay, so a little bit of looking around, ls like la in the home directory, we can see there is this TMS backup, and it's owned by Plotted-TMS. It means there should be a script somewhere. Let's go back into the dub data. ls stack al. I'm going to look into var dub. Let me see. You can see there's a script there owned by dub data. So it means there should be a cron job. So if we cut the content of adc cron, we should find something funny. Great. So look at that. We can see it runs as roots. We can see obviously as part of the reports, kind of like generating daily reports, I guess. Then we also see a couple of other one, but the one that interests us is this one. So we can see plot-admin. I think script, we saw this already. Then there's backup.sh in there. So we're going to see if we can probably take advantage of this, make modifications to the backup.sh, probably put in something that can call back to us, and maybe wait for it to execute and catch a reverse shell, which should give us the full access to be able to read the text file and maybe move a step further from that point. All right, let's get this thing working. Okay, so there seems to be a bit of problem. I'm just digging around. I'm seeing that, yeah, I probably am able to read the content of the backup.sh, and that shows me that it's running this basic bash script. I like to see rsync happening there, and also we're passing the management home plots, then the TMS backup, as we saw from the initial explanation. Also, we can see it changes chmod 770 admin the TMS backup management, and that's bad news for us. Over here, viewing the file permission, you can see the owner, which is plot admin, read write execute the group, which should be the root group probably, but us random user, we only have read access, read permission. That's bad. We cannot write into this file. I will be tempted to try, but definitely it's not going to work because you can already see the file permission sets on that file. So what can we do? Can we maybe look for probably check if there is any command that we can run as privileged user, and probably go check GTFO bin if we find an executable that we can probably use to grab a shell, or we'll just spend some time thinking more on what to do. Okay, spend some quality time digging around, and I found this GTFO bin, kind of like bash, and in that file using a basic echo. Over here we see there is this yeah, so I'm just going to work with this one. I'm going to copy this. So what we're doing is basically we're using bash to execute the command of the reverse shell, and see if we can put this in. If we're able to put this in, it means we should be able to effectively stage a netcat listener and grab a reverse shell for ourselves. So let's see if that works out fine. I'm going to try that in the background. So bad news. I tried to I see if I can probably put in my reverse shell generator into the file backup.sh, then ding ding ding, permission denied. So we need to try a different technique. Still in the GTFO bin, I think they had specified a different technique which probably might work, and I think we're going to take advantage of that and see if we can do this export thing, and probably use it as a technique to get ourselves file right. Okay, I'm just going to do a bit of digging in the background. I'll come back to you guys. Let me quickly figure this thing out. Okay, so I think I found a technique that's going to work. I'm going to kill this shell. More or less it's useless at this point in time. So over here I'll stage a new netcat listener and see, let's do 9003 this time around. Then I'm going to make, okay, 9003 pretty much okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll start this netcat listener. Now come in here. I'm going to go to var dub scripts. I can actually get in here. I can see the backup is there. I'm going to create a new file. I'll just call it what can I call it? Probably touch shell. That sounds like a fine name. Okay, great. In there we have shell. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my own new reverse shell because I'm trying to replace that backup file and I cannot write into it. I only have read permission. So I will explain later the technique that is being abused here for those defense folk who would love to stop stuff like this. So I'm going to paste this command in here. What I'm basically doing is just give me a second. What I'm basically doing is I'm putting this into my file called shell. Okay, and if I cut the content of shell, we can see we have that bash command which is spinning the reverse shell back to us. I'm going to clear the screen. So at this point I will be doing some very funny abuse. So what we can do is we can quickly move the backup.sh. We have to execute all this command together. We'll just call it a backup.old. Let's see if that works fine. Then we're also going to execute the command to move the scripts. The shell. We'll move shell. I think we can move shell to backup.sh. So I'm replacing the file. Then also we'll change the permission on the fly. Chmod. I think we're going to make it an executable. The new backup.sh. If this works fine, we have successfully replaced that file. Cannot access no such file in directory. Okay. Okay, let me see what happened. Okay, so I need to start all over because this is already in there, but it's gotten a bad name. So let me quickly move backup.sh to backup.sh. Okay, let's I'm gonna clear the screen. If I cut the content of backup.old just to show you, we have read access. So this is the old backup file. Now if I cut the content of backup.sh, we have oh my bad, wrong syntax. Oh no, messed up this whole thing. I'm gonna kill my shell now. Okay, so we have to get over and start all over again from the scratch. I'm killing my shell. Okay, so after the replacement, I guess I made a mistake with the name so greatly. I quickly changed the permission of the file to executable again, and I got the reverse shell called back to me. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the new shell and cd into home again, cd into plots admin. I think in there we should have we can cut the user.text file now, and we can copy that to go to the submission panel and hand that over to the submission. Then we'll go over to the next phase, which will be the privilege escalation. I had failures, and I went back to GTF open. So since I already found DOAS, I probably tried all the couple of techniques mentioned here. Reverse shell didn't work out for me. File upload didn't work out for me. But to read file turned out to work out for me. So what I did, I also tried the library load. I actually failed. So what I did was I found this, and I found this pretty interesting. So which means we can read the file. So I know I want a root flag, and it should be in the root as root.text file name. So I quickly copied this, and I went over here, so you can see me using DOAS to run OpenSSL and include reading the file roots, as you can see over there, using DOAS to read the file, root the text in the root folder, and that worked out fine. Congratulations on completing this room. So we're able to read this file, but I'm pretty much interested on how to how I can elevate this to a root command prompt. I had tried a couple of things. You see, I created my payload, it didn't work. I ran this, it still didn't work. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to go back and dig into that. Let me just quickly go submit my flags, and then I'll dig into that to see how I can actually elevate the privilege. So I'm going to go back to TryHackMe and submit my second flag. So both of them should be okay, and we should be done with this room. All right, so that's it. Well, whilst I'll end the video here, I will go and try to get a root prompt, which I'm pretty much interested in. Thank you once again for hanging out with Blessed. I hope you enjoy the content. Please do like, subscribe. Now, a quick conclusion. All this can be prevented, obviously. File permissions, it starts from there. We saw how wrong permissions have been set on certain files, and obviously certain capabilities that are not necessary or essential, something like OpenSSL, being able to use that to probably read a file or write to a file or even elevate to execute a command. We can prevent all that if we go to the fine granularity of managing permissions correctly, also assigning rights to the necessary executables or binaries that are required for the user to do the job. Okay, thank you for your time, and I'll see you soon again. Bye bye.